Trekforce is purely, it is the jungle to the max, and experiencing it as if, just like the real deal. Everyone said this from the moment we arrived, that, you know what, we made a good choice and we're in the right hands. Our production team came across Trekforce, and I don't think we could have entered the jungle with a more experienced group of people than Trekforce. It's kind of, they thought, all across the board. Everyone's just trained. They know their stuff. There's medics at hand whenever. They have extraction plans if need. They got the British military in their corner, and it's just a really, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right and safely. And it's as if Trekforce really, kind of, lives by that. You get off a plane, you land, you get picked up by complete strangers, and we are kind of used to that film in the show, but you arrive having met complete strangers, but you leave, having kind of built these relationships with people because you spent so long with them in the jungle, and that's kind of, you almost wish that every trip could be like that, and you could experience certain, there were no real epics, but the kind of journey altogether, in a nutshell, was more or less an epic journey. We covered a lot of distance in a really extreme environment, and it kind of, just the trip within itself is completely inspiring because it's, you want other people to experience this. It was kind of, all right, there's your basher, there's your hammock, there's a tree, go clear a space, put up your bedroom, there's a river, go wash in it, and onward we go. It was just, and then it was, oh, watch out for the deadly viper and the spider that, and the spiders and bees and all that. And it was definitely a wake-up call, getting off that plane and instantly, like, off the plane and balls deep in the jungle. So it was, it was good, though. At the end of the day, I really, thoroughly enjoyed it, and, I'm glad I got a taste of the jungle like a proper way. I'm just entirely grateful that we fell upon Trekforce and couldn't have been in better hands.